For the last 50 years, society has been pushing a single, terrifying narrative down the throats of every teenager on the planet. From the time you are in middle school, the adults in your life point to a single, heavily guarded door and tell you, this is the only way out. That door is a university degree. We were sold the idea that college is the golden ticket to a safe, successful, and respectable life. We were told that if you don't go, you are destined to be left behind, flipping burgers while everyone else builds an empire. But the world changed, and the people handing out the advice didn't notice. We are now living in an era where the traditional university path is no longer a guaranteed ticket to anything except a mountain of unforgivable debt. Today, we need to talk about the biggest shift in modern history. We need to talk about why the gatekeepers have fallen, and why, for the first time ever, you probably don't need college to build an extraordinary life. Let's start with the cold hard math, because numbers don't have nostalgia. 30 or 40 years ago, college made perfect sense. You could work a summer job, pay your tuition in cash, and graduate into an economy where simply having a piece of paper put you ahead of 80% of the population. It was an incredible return on investment. But today, that same piece of paper has been inflated to the point of absurdity. You are asked to sign away tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in high-interest loans before your brain has even fully developed. You are told to take on mortgage-level debt without a house to show for it. And what is the reward when you finally walk across that stage? You step into a saturated job market where entry-level positions require 3 years of experience and pay a salary that barely covers your rent and your loan payments. For many people, a college degree is no longer an investment. It is a financial anchor that drowns you before your career even begins. But the financial cost is only half the story. The real reason college is losing its monopoly on success is because information is no longer locked behind ivy-covered walls. Historically, universities held all the power because they held all the knowledge. If you wanted to learn computer science, engineering, business, or design, you had to pay the gatekeeper to access the library and the professor. But then the internet happened. We democratized human knowledge. Today, you have access to the exact same information, often taught better, faster, and more updated for free or for a fraction of the cost online. You can learn to code from MIT professors on YouTube. You can learn digital marketing from people who are actually running millions of dollars in ads, rather than from a professor reading a textbook written in 2014. The university is no longer the sole distributor of knowledge. It is just a very expensive middleman. And the people hiring are starting to realize this. We are rapidly transitioning from a credential-based economy to a skill-based economy. 10 years ago, a recruiter looked at where you went to school. Today, forward-thinking companies, tech giants, and modern startups are looking at what you can actually do. They don't care if you learn to build software in a lecture hall or in your bedroom at 2 a.m. They care about your portfolio. They care about your proof of work. When you spend 4 years writing academic essays that nobody will ever read except your professor, you are learning how to pass a test. When you spend 4 years building a business, learning a high-income skill, networking in the real world, and creating a public portfolio of your actual work, you are learning how to survive and thrive in the marketplace. The real world doesn't grade on a curve. It rewards execution. Now, a quick disclaimer. If you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, or a civil engineer, yes, go to college, please. We need you to have that formal training. But if you want to be an entrepreneur, a creator, a developer, a designer, or a marketer, you have the option to build your own curriculum. Skipping college is not an excuse to be lazy. In fact, the alternative path requires more discipline. It means you have to become your own dean of admissions. You have to actively seek out mentors. You have to read relentlessly. You have to take cheap online courses, find apprenticeships, and be willing to fail publicly. You trade the safety net of a syllabus for the absolute freedom of building a tailor-made life. It is scary, yes, but it is also the most empowering thing you can do. You don't need $1 million institution to give you permission to be successful. Your future is not dictated by a piece of paper. It is dictated by your work ethic, your adaptability, and your absolute refusal to be outworked. Stop asking for permission and start building your proof. Subscribe for more life lessons and see you in the next one.